Beneath the calm, blue surface of this lake, something horrifying is happening. Bodies. Dozens of them, one after another, surfacing from the deep like ghosts that refuse to stay buried. Divers, police. Even locals say the same thing. This lake doesn't forget. But why? Why does it keep giving up its dead? And what secrets are still hiding below? Let's uncover the chilling truth behind the lake that just won't stay silent. In the middle of the desert, surrounded by silence and heat, there's a body of water that looks peaceful, almost inviting, but for decades, it's been hiding a nightmare. This is Lake Mead, one of America's most famous lakes, and one of its darkest mysteries. When the water levels started to drop in recent years, people expected to see rocks, sand, maybe some old boats. But instead, what they found were human remains, skeletons, skulls, and rusted barrels that told a different kind of story. At first, it seemed like an accident, maybe a drowning, maybe two, but then another body appeared, and another, each one pulled from the depths as the lake shrank in the desert sun. Locals started whispering, tourists began avoiding the area, and investigators realized this wasn't just bad luck, because the truth about what lies at the bottom of Lake Mead might be darker than anyone imagined. The first discovery started in May 2022. A man was walking along the lake's edge, where the water had receded further than usual. He noticed something strange poking out of the mud, a rusted metal barrel. At first, he thought it was trash, but when he got closer, he saw bones inside. Police rushed to the scene. Inside that barrel was the body of a man, still wearing 1970s-style clothes and shoes. Detectives quickly realized this was no accident. The body had bullet wounds. He'd been executed. Soon, old-timers around Las Vegas started talking. Some said it must be tied to mob activity, back when Vegas was run by men who made people disappear. In those days, Lake Mead was the perfect dumping ground. Deep, cold, silent, and when the lake began to dry up decades later, it started revealing those long-buried secrets one by one. But that was only the beginning. The pattern emerges just days after the first body. Another was found. This time, it wasn't in a barrel. It was a half-buried skeleton, tangled in old debris. Then a third body surfaced, still wearing pieces of his shirt, trapped in dried silt like a fossil. By the end of that summer, at least 6 different sets of remains had been discovered. Officials said the cause was simple, falling water levels. But locals didn't buy it. Some claimed the lake was cursed, that it was spitting out what it didn't want. Others whispered that something else was happening down there. Old records revealed multiple people who had vanished mysteriously around the lake in the 1970s and 80s. Boaters, divers, even tourists who were never found. Some had ties to organized crime. Others were everyday people who simply disappeared. And when detectives compared the clothing and bone structures, some matched those missing person files exactly. But here's the thing, not all of them did. Some remains didn't match anyone. So who were they? And what else is still down there, waiting to be found? What lies beneath? To understand Lake Mead's mystery, you have to go back, way back, to when it was first created. In the 1930s, the Hoover Dam flooded entire canyons to form the lake. Beneath those waters are ghost towns, old mining camps, and even abandoned roads. So when the lake levels dropped to historic lows, it wasn't just human bodies that reappeared. It was pieces of lost history. Divers exploring the area found sunken boats, vintage cars, and long-forgotten tunnels leading into the canyon walls. Some of them said they heard strange echoes underwater, metallic banging, like something trapped below. Of course, science says there's a logical reason. The changing water pressure, expanding gases, natural movement. But for those who've seen what lies down there, logic doesn't always feel enough. Because every time the lake level falls, more secrets rise to the surface, and no one knows how many more are still waiting. One diver said it best, when you go down there, it's quiet, too quiet. You feel like you're being watched. And maybe he's right. The truth that won't stay buried. Lake Mead isn't just a lake anymore. It's a graveyard, one that keeps speaking, piece by piece. Every time the desert heat takes more of its water away. Some say it's karma, others call it history catching up. Whatever it is, it's a reminder that secrets don't stay buried forever. The past has a way of resurfacing, sometimes in the most literal, terrifying way possible. And as climate change continues and water levels keep dropping, experts believe more bodies will appear, each one with its own story, each one a clue to a time when Las Vegas wasn't neon lights and tourists, but mobsters, money, and fear. So next time you see the still blue waters of Lake Mead, remember what's underneath, because beneath the surface of beauty often lies something unthinkable. And the scariest part, the lake still isn't done revealing.